Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are watching Trump address the nation live tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If everyone can hit the like button straight off the bat, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out the newsletter deal, which is ending very shortly, 50% off for the first 3 people. First link in the description, it's also in the live chat. Let's go straight to what we're looking at right now, which is President Trump about to address the nation. Let's put our countdown live on the screen. We are running a poll in the chat. What do you guys think is going to happen? The poll is, what does Trump announce tonight? Is it a ceasefire deal? Is it the war is over or ending in the next 2 to 3 weeks? Is it a ground invasion? Is he going to go offensive? Or NATO withdrawal? We've had some other suggestions. Is it going to be him asking the Iranian people to rise up and overrule their government? Make sure you are live with us. We are waiting for President Donald Trump to address the nation live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2 a.m. UK time. That's where I am here in London, 2 a.m. over here. So if you do appreciate us covering the stream, all we ask for is a like. It takes a second. Please do it. Can you guys let me know in the chat if you're here? I want to see everyone's names rolling through. I can see Jacko, the Nutella, Ricardo. Let me know if you guys are here. Martin is asking, what country are you watching from? Yeah, that would be great to know. What country are you guys watching from right now? Let us know in the chat. I do have the live chat up here, so I'll be able to see everyone's comments as they come through. I'm always watching it. So even if I'm not responding to your comments, for example, when Trump is speaking, I'll be watching the live chat and you guys can communicate with each other there. So, waiting for Trump to take the stage, we've got a little bit of PTSD from this Truth Social post Donald Trump put out last week on the March 26th. And is it something to do with this? Might be. He put out a truth post saying, Texas. Oh, I'm just looking at all the comments come through. Texas. Someone's watching from Iran. Troll King. I guess it's in your name. You're probably not watching from Iran. We've got everyone's names coming through. Hi, Senator. Nutella says Puerto Rico, Houston, Texas. Texas says Potatoes Family. Australia. Wow, Australia. Oh, it must be morning for you now, Scott. Scotty. Fresh Trim says Nick Jones. Always Nick Jones. Why is everyone mentioning it this time? If I get a haircut every 2 or 3 weeks. Tired in London, but it feels like an important moment for the world. Yes, it is. Okay, so is it something to do with this truth post here? It very well could be. This is where Donald Trump put out saying that, remember, they were very much in every day Donald Trump coming out saying we're going every day Donald Trump came out from when the war started, continuously saying we are destroying more targets. We're not going to back down. We're gonna hit them hard. We're going to continue to hit them. We're going to see regime change. All of this sort of stuff. And then last week he changed his tune, uh, potentially saying there's a deal and the Iranians want a deal and they keep coming to the table and they want a deal. The Iranians said that's not happening. That's fake news. Donald Trump's trying to move the markets and pump and dump the markets for his own gain. And then we said, okay, actually, it doesn't look like there's any deal being sorted. So Donald Trump might be doing his negotiation techniques or creating more chaos or whatever the reasons potentially that there's no deal going on, but President Trump is saying there's a deal going on. And then we got this truth post, which sort of backed that up because then he changed his tune from going, we're about to get an end to the war and they're about to sign a peace deal or they want to come to the table and we're very close to agreeing on points. He put out this truth post last week. The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. They are begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since they have been militarily obliterated with zero chance of a comeback. And yet, they publicly state that they are only looking at our proposal. Wrong. They better get serious soon before it's too late. Is it too late, guys? Is it too late? Is this what Trump's announcement is? Did they not get serious? Is it too late? Because once that happens, there is no turning back and it won't be pretty. Is this going to be an announcement that the US is going to go to a ground operation in Iran? And actually, the war is not going to be 4 weeks to 6 weeks. It's going to be months, years. Is that what the announcement's going to be? I don't know. If I knew, then I would I would have some certain bets on the market, poly market bets. I would be long or short depending on what the announcement is. I don't know. What I do know is my portfolio is prepared for all scenarios. If we're going to go up, as I've always said, coming out in the chart training course, coming out on the newsletter, and everything I've always taught, you want to be in the markets, and I am in the markets. 80%. Remember, my everyone's portfolios is different. Mine is 80% of my money is in long-term assets, index funds, not active managed funds because they historically are worse off than index funds. So I've got 80% of my money in index funds, the top 5 cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, bit of diversification. I'm not touching that. I'm 80% invested because you always want to be invested. 20% of my money is where I actively trade it, where I'm actively trying to be on the right side of the trade, trying to get above average returns on my money. And with that money, I'm actually a little bit in cash, in treasury bills, in the bond market. Why? Because I think this year is going to be a bear market. I said it before the war. I said that there is a chance of war. We won on oil trades. We won on being in cash. Now the question is the market going to change and pump? And we've missed the opportunity to buy the S&P 500 at these low levels? Or actually, are we going to have a big crash tonight and we can deploy some cash? Either way, I'm prepared. Whether he comes out and says the war is we're going to go deeper, or whether he comes out and says nothing even about the war, it doesn't matter. 80% of my money is invested long term because over time the markets go up. 20% of my money is potentially on the sidelines, ready for more opportunity. And if the war comes and goes, there's always opportunity in the market. And remember, the market might pump, but there is major issues before we even enter the war. AI cracks, carry trade issues, inflation. Now, with the oil spike and all the other issues, everything's not great, even if the war ends tonight. So there's always going to be opportunity, but be prepared for all scenarios. One scenario is, if you're looking at this post on the screen here, maybe Iran didn't get serious, maybe it is too late, and maybe it's not going to be pretty. If we go over here as well, so Trump is speaking tonight. Here's what matters. War timeline 2 to 3 weeks. He could say the timeline is 2 to 3 weeks, which is probably most likely because that's what he's been saying. Multiple sources confirm that Trump will reinstate his intention to end the war within 2 to 3 weeks. A White House official told CBS News he will highlight the military success in hitting its target checklist. The war began on the 28th of February. We're now 33 days in. Beyond the high end estimate of 6 weeks, Iran has described as decimated. Watch for any hard date. That will be market moving moments. So we're going to keep an eye out. Is he saying the war's ending? Is he still on track? Or is there going to be escalation? We're looking at the Strait of Hormuz because there's been developments of that over the last couple days. Initially, it was Trump's going to come in, he's going to open the Strait of Hormuz, he's going to be the Navy's going to be escorting the ships. That didn't happen, and now it looks like he goes, "This is not our problem. Someone else come in and sort out this problem. We don't need the oil and gas. We created the problem, but we're not going to fix it." What's he going to say about the Strait of Hormuz? It is still effectively closed. It is 1/5 of the global oil flows. Um, Before Treasury Secretary Bessent said the US will take control. I'm going to put this on the screen as well, just so we know, keep an eye on the White House. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the US will retake control. But Trump himself told reporters other nations may need to fend for themselves. Tonight's language on the Straits will be the single biggest oil price catalyst. So, no commitment, oil stays elevated. Hard commitment, we can see oil go down. If oil goes down, equities will go up. Keeping the eye on all of it. Trump about to address the nation in less than 10 minutes now. If you guys have just tuned in, we are covering Trump. We're going to be seeing what he's saying, what he says about the war, because he's going to give us an update on the war, and we want to know what's going on. And we want to see what he says so we can position ourselves appropriately. Again, I'm not going to take emotional decisions. I'm going to take in the information and then make my decisions in due course. Please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe. If you want the news every single day, we give you the news every single day. The 5 things you need to know, the top stories, the charts of the day, the deep dives, plus the portfolio challenge, which is the £5,000 portfolio challenge, where I'm putting my actively traded portfolio, where I'm putting my money, and all the research behind it. We also got the chart trading course coming out imminently. If you're on Discord, you might have seen a quick update that it has been postponed a couple days. I'm sorry. We want to get it right. There's no point rushing it if we just want to get it right. And I'm very confident we'll be sticking to that final deadline in a couple days' time. You get Discord access on the premium channels, and then you can go and see have a taste of the other channels and upgrade to the Lucasade position. You get access to weekly crypto deep dives, plus the net worth tracker, all sorts. Currently 50% off. So if you want access to all of that, the link is in the live chats. It is also the first link in the description. We're also looking at NATO. We've heard a lot about NATO right now. Trump telling potentially Reuters that it might actually withdraw from NATO. I mean, that would be a outrageous move. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, what's he going to say? We don't know. If that actually becomes, if the markets actually believe that, then that Europe has a lot of stepping up to do. Iran ceasefire request. Apparently, Trump claimed this morning that Iran's president asked for a ceasefire. Iran flatly denied it, claiming that the claim is false and baseless. Trump said he would only accept one if the Strait of Hormuz reopens. Ground invasion, is he going to say something about that? Most probably he won't mention it, but we can see from his tone if that is still on the cards. Maybe he announces the war's over tonight. Maybe he just gives us an update, and maybe says actually it's going to go on longer. We have no idea. That's why we're watching this, and we want to gather some more information and see what decisions we want to make in due course. Oil right now is what everyone cares about. The longer we stay above $100, the bigger the issues we have in the world. Every time there's been a crisis, before that's happened, oil's spiked. Oil's spiking, and it's holding for longer than most people think. Gasoline above $4 in the US. In the UK, I think I saw it at driving past somewhere today, and it was like 165. That's 165p, £1.65 per litre. The S&P 500, it went into, I think it hit correction territory, hit just 10%. It's pumped over the last couple of days. Is it just a pump to dump? Remember, nothing goes down in a straight line. So even if we're in a bear market, as I've said many times, it's very normal to get these little pumps along the way. Let me just make sure this is live. Yes, it is. We are waiting for Trump to take the stage. Goldman Sachs is saying a 30% recession probability. I'm saying about a 30 to 40%. I haven't changed my thoughts on that. I still think recession probabilities are elevated for this year. And the inflation forecast is something that Goldman Sachs has raised to 3.1%. We've seen other reports come out that's actually going to hit 4.1% this year. And again, if inflation goes up, the Fed cannot cut rates. Tariff inflation is right now in the markets, and if we get oil inflation come in, they're not going to be cutting rates. There's not going to be liquidity coming into markets, and many companies will not be able to afford this. Many consumers will not be able to afford this, and we can head into a recession or even a stagflationary environment. So let's have a quick look at the markets heading into this. 5 minutes away from Trump coming in, I can see everyone's live chats going on right now. What's everyone saying? Are you guys voting in the poll? Let me give you the results right now. 27% of you say ceasefire deal. That would be a massive pump on the market if that happens. War over in 2 to 3 weeks. He's sticking to those timelines. 34%. That is actually the most likely probability. Is he just continues with what he's saying, although he's addressing the nation, so maybe he's got more to say. Ground invasion. 26%. Now that would be a severe escalation. I don't think a ground invasion. When we say ground invasion, we're not talking about, look, they're going to go in and they're going to try and go into the capital and come in and take all the uranium. It will very much probably be a Strait of Hormuz expedition, and mainly to capture some of these islands, potentially the main island, Karg Island, 90% of the oil flow. Why? They can use it as a negotiating chip. But that again would be a escalation. NATO withdrawal, also the markets wouldn't like. He might come out and say it's time for the Iranians to rise up, although he's claimed regime change already, so that would be strange. He's said that the regime has changed, but many would say that's not what anyone would claim as regime change. What else? Trump is a time traveler, says he says uranium. They're going after uranium. Let's see. If anyone else has any other guesses, let me know in the chat. Manage yourself 80% long term, 20% short term, subject to change. Do your own research. Taco time. Oh, is Trump going to chicken out? Well, he has. He's done that a few times. What's he going to do now? Markets going up. US should pull out of NATO. There's a few left. Bitcoin pumping. Bitcoin, ground invasion this weekend could happen. Wow. Now that would be it doesn't normally happen on the weekends, doesn't it? Pump throughout the week and then bang, you're hit with something on a Friday night or a Saturday. When's the deadline? Guys, who can remind me when the deadline was? 10 days, right? 5th of April, 4th of April, 6th of April. He put a 10-day deadline. Not this Friday, not that last Friday, the Friday before, right? Or maybe it was last Friday. Yeah, it was last Friday. So let's have a quick look at a calendar. It was on a Friday that he extended it. He chickened out, as some would say. Some people hate it when I say chickened out. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the President of the United States. I'm just clearly stating that as a term. So 27th, 10 days after that, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 6th of April. So the deadline is on Easter Monday, 6th of April. We're only 1, 2, 3, 4 days away from, or 5 days, depending on where you are in the world, away from that deadline that he would come in and bomb energy facilities, desalination parts, and oil. Who we've got Martyn in the chat. Leah and I have you on the big TV watching you rather than the TV networks. Love it. Thank you, Martyn and Leah. Big shout out to Martyn and Leah for watching us, watching me here instead of the big cable TVs, and everyone else, of course. Thank you for choosing to watch the event with us, and I will try and deliver it the best. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to press live. I recommend everyone make sure you're live up to date on this stream. The second thing you can do is come over here to the cogs. If you're on a laptop, you'll see it. If you're on a TV, you'll see it. If you're on your phone, you're probably already up to date. Click the cogs and then go to playback speed and put it on as high as you can. I'm a premium member, so I can go to 4x, you can go to 2x. What that will mean is you're up to date to the second, maybe 1 second behind. So I'm 1 second behind them. You're 1 second behind me. We're going to get the up-to-date information from President Donald Trump. Now let's see. Let's make sure we've got all the feeds available to us. I'm looking here. I'm going to have the markets over here, which are just pumping going into this. Is this a pump to dump? We don't know. The S&P 500 right now is pumping. What I'm going to do is I'll put it on the screen there. Bitcoin at the top, the S&P 500 on the bottom there. And then hopefully we'll have Trump on stage in less than a minute. So if you have just tuned in, here we go. President Donald Trump taking the stage in less than 1 minute. I'm also just going to have a few backup streams in case. So we've got this one as the main one. I'll be watching some in the background. So I'll make sure I have the stream for you guys. We're watching to see, is it an escalation? Is it a ground invasion? Is it a ceasefire? Why is he addressing the nation? We're going to be analyzing it. We're going to be watching it together. We're going to be looking at the markets and I'll be answering your questions. We're prepared for this. We've been preparing for this. We're prepared for the upside, the downside. And if you don't know what I mean by that, let me turn on our super chats. That was off. Then you need to be watching our shows every day and subscribe to newsletter. If you haven't already subscribed to newsletter, it is the first link in the description. It's also pinned to, there we go. The timer is finished. So let's get ready. We can always extend the timer. Maybe Trump will come out a couple minutes later. So what I'm going to do, I always like to have a timer on the screen. So let's just extend it by a couple minutes. I'm keeping an eye out on the White House stream as well. So what I'm going to do is I just want to make sure I have all streams possible. So I'm going to go to this screen over here, type in the Donald Trump thing there. We'll watch it on that screen as well. Okay, so if you have just tuned in, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're waiting to see, what is that war timeline? Is it still 2 to 3 weeks? Has it ended? The Strait of Hormuz, what are they going to do about it? Because initially they were going to open it very swiftly, add the insurance. That hasn't happened. That was supposed to be a few weeks ago. Now Donald Trump is saying, actually, if other countries want oil, come and open the strait yourself. NATO, are they going to pull out of NATO? Reports of that. Trump telling Reuters that they're absolutely considering withdrawing US from NATO. Well, Trump said Iran requested a ceasefire. Iran completely denied it. So who is telling the truth? Is Trump actually in a deal with the Iranians, or is it not true? I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say there's back channel talks going on, but nothing majorly serious. I don't think the deal was as great as Donald Trump was pretending it was. Why was he doing that? Maybe to get the troops in the region to extend that timeline. And remember, Donald Trump did put this out last week. And is the speech going to be about what we see on screen here, which is his Truth Social post? The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. They are begging us to make a deal, which they should be, since they have been militarily obliterated, with a zero chance of comeback. And yet they publicly state that they're only looking at our proposal. Wrong. And this part here that I've highlighted for you, is that what today is about? Because Donald Trump said, they better get serious soon. This was on March the 26th. We are 5, 6, 7 days. We're a week past this. They better get serious soon, before it's too late. Because once it happens, there is no turning back, and it won't be pretty. So, has it got too late? Is there no turning back for the US now? And is it going to not be pretty? Oh, Lady Buckley is in the house. Thank you, Tidy Big Dog, for your super chat. We also...
At Tidy Big Dog tipped £1.99 through super chat. Lady Buckley is in the house.
Thank you very much. I do see Lady Buckley's 1978 Buckley super chat. Thank you for your $5. Thank you for covering this. I appreciate your super chat. Sorry it didn't get played. Grab them by the Hormuzi and Manga. I'm just looking at your comments. Remember, I can see everyone's comments. If you guys can, hit the like button and subscribe. If you haven't got the newsletter yet, we send it out every single day. All the information you need to know, all my trades, all my thoughts on the markets, the trading course, the net worth tracker, all of that. It's in the description right now, and it's also in the live chat. Here we go. President Donald Trump coming out on stage. So let's go back to which stream should we use? I think we'll use this one over here.
Losses, factories, launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. World. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world, and now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas. The sector to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous.
We are up to date. If anyone's asking, I have made sure we're live.
That's why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb, and he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green.
You're asking, is this live? Yes, this is live, up to date. You're 1 second behind me. I'm 1 second behind them.
He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles
Nothing
as possible,
of substance
and they
said yet. He's just not declared it over. That's why the markets are down.
Weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job," every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion. and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly.
It's just going to naturally open, guys.
But they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Wow. Wow. Seems like that was it. Oh God. Doesn't seem like there's any end in sight, does it? Really doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. We've got anything from Bloomberg here. Let's have a look.
Our special coverage of the U.S. president's just now concluded prime time address to the nation and to the world around updates around Iran. Something that stood out to me, at least, is when you look at, I'm just judging here by the market reaction, is that there has been no major update in as far as the end is concerned, and the message markets are taking, looking at this risk-off move across assets. Dollar higher, oil is higher, stocks are down. Is things could get worse before they do eventually. Hopefully, the president is correct in that in several weeks things get better. Let's bring in Joe Matthew, our Bloomberg Balance of Power co-anchor, joining us from
oil
Washington
pumping.
with his takeaways. Joe, what stood out to you?
Well, it's interesting. He talked about getting rid of a cancer, as he called it, that is long simmered, which is a nuclear Iran. But the president did not provide any new evidence of an imminent threat, as many hoped that he might. Nor did he promise to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Remarkable to hear him point to the countries of the world, he said, that do receive oil through the strait. He said they must take care of that passage. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. The president said the hard part's done. When this conflict is over, the strait will open naturally, suggesting we may wind down our involvement in this conflict before the strait has reopened. And he has teased this idea over the past couple of days. Other than that, it was largely a composite of what the president has written on Truth Social over the past 48 to 72 hours.
What a strange address. No real updates. But yeah, I guess the biggest thing that was said in that speech was what he said about the Strait of Hormuz, suggesting that the war is going to end and then the strait's going to open itself. So he might end the war, which is a good thing, but the strait might stay closed, and it will be someone else's job to reopen it, which is strange, but it could indicate the war's ending. But again, it was a whole lot of nothing. Let's have a look at the markets. Oil up 3.8%, a massive spike on that announcement. And remember, it doesn't matter if the war ends or not. The biggest issue is oil. If the strait remains closed, oil remains elevated. If oil remains elevated, we have all the issues that the war causes, which is inflation, recession, cost of living crisis, all the things that are problematic that war causes will still be there if the strait remains closed. Um, Gold on that news went down because remember, gold is acting like equities at the moment because if oil stays up, inflation stays high, rate hikes come, and gold doesn't like rate hikes. That's how it's acting at the moment. You need to know what cycle you're in. The S&P 500 is down 0.6% in the aftermarket. Not down massively, but I wouldn't say this speech has given great confidence. In fact, I would go ahead and say it was a whole lot of nothing. We will be analyzing it in the morning forecast newsletter tomorrow. But yeah, XRP down on the news, Bitcoin down on the news, Ethereum down on the news, silver down on the news. Only thing loving this is bonds and oil. What does that suggest? Suggests the war is going to go on longer than you'd like.
Said we will hit them hard the next 2 to 3 weeks, and still threatening strikes, right? If Iran says no deal, we will hit the electric plants in Iran if there is no deal. We never said regime change. Are we getting more clarity still about the objectives of this war and what the U.S. is trying to achieve?
Well, I guess they are narrowing down, maybe crystallizing some of those objectives. Of course, we have to know the president has said just this week that regime change has already occurred. He has said that we've already won and that we have eliminated the nuclear threat. He talked about achieving the core strategic objectives, and he did list them. Eliminating Iran's Air Force, Navy, and its defense industrial
base. Well, they said
base,
they've done that.
and keeping Iran from having a nuclear weapon. He said
I thought they
are
did that
nearing
12 months
completion.
ago.
These are also ideas that he has said that have already been accomplished. So that 2 to 3 week timeline is important here. The president did say just in the last 24 hours that that's about how much time that we would need to have left. I don't know if he's assuming that our NATO allies will start populating the strait or how that gets reopened, but it could take more than 2 or 3 weeks for that to happen, of course.
And Joe, just I guess a final question. That headline that just dropped, it's a red headline that Yvonne just mentioned there, that they will be hitting the electric plants if there is no deal. What do we know about any diplomatic conversations that are potentially taking place as we speak?
Very little, which is the issue. We've heard of Iran trading messages, but Iran has so far said that there are no formal talks underway, even though the president has pointed to Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and even the vice president of the United States, J.D. Vance, as at least being prepared for real negotiations. He's touted progress in these talks, but at every turn, Iran has said that that's not true. So it's difficult to know exactly where this stands here. With another 2 weeks, the president still threatening Iran's electric plants. That, of course, along with his threats prior to hit the country's desalination plants, would
Guys, we've got a poll running right now in the chat.
So
when will the war end?
Final ultimatum here, without the strait being reopened, we may have learned something again tonight.
Joe, great to have you. Thank you so much. Joe Matthew there, our Balance of Power co-anchor, joining us from D.C. this evening. Joining us now from Virginia is Bilal Saab, Senior Managing Director at Trends U.S., the independent research and advisory firm. He also previously served as Senior Advisor in the Pentagon's Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy. Bilal, thank you so much for joining us. And, you know, just under 20 minutes, this speech, markets seem to be interpreting this as maybe, 2 to 3 weeks. That timeline might be still too optimistic here, and they think that there's still quite a lot of uncertainty, possibly. What's your take of the speech from the president today?
Long story short, I mean, we could put it under the microscope and, analyze every single word he said. But long story short is that just like any other speech, some truths, some exaggerations, some lack of clarity, and also some things that were just simply not true. I was actually struck the most by the insistence on the assumption that the greater military pressure you apply on the Iranians, the more likely that they would concede on some of the things that we're asking them to do, including opening the Strait of Hormuz, giving up the nuclear material that they have, that is bomb-grade material, close enough at least, and then rupturing any relations with those regional actors that we find problematic. We're nowhere near close to any of those things. But I was actually comforted by the fact that the president specifically mentioned military objectives. There's a big difference between military objectives and strategic objectives. The military objectives have largely been met. I mean, we have decimated their Navy. We have decimated much of their military capacity. They never had any air power to begin with, frankly. But all of that stuff could be easily rebuilt. The strategic objectives are vastly, unachievable, frankly. And obviously, I wasn't expecting any detail about the timeline of that, what is the exact strategy to get there, and so on and so forth. I'm not buying the argument that the strait is going to reopen naturally. I don't even know what that means. That's the whole point of this entire conflict right now. Also don't agree, and you guys obviously are the experts on this, that just because we don't import oil from that part of the world doesn't mean that we're not affected by the global price of oil. As a matter of fact, you could just easily see that we are. And so that whole notion that it doesn't matter what happens in the Strait for us, and that if the NATO wants to take care of that problem, so be it. That is obviously a misinterpretation and an erroneous reading of the entire global energy markets.
Bilal, David here. Do you think we're at least better off in terms of understanding what the ultimate objective is, which I think my interpretation on what the president said, and I want to see what you think about this, is the military objective could in fact be the strategic objective.
Well, look, I mean, if once again, if you want to look at the metrics of military destruction of Iranian capabilities, there's a lot of data to verify that. Fair enough. So you got the check on that one. But then what? Like I said, I mean, you could still rebuild all of that military capacity that they lost. And in my opinion, the top priority remains, and you've heard it in the speech as well, is to take away that highly enriched uranium, because it is our #1 priority. And we're nowhere near close to that, right? And so everything hinges now on what we agree on in the negotiations, and whether, if there is no deal, what do we do after that, right? And we're going to deploy ground troops in that part of the world, whether to invade Kharg and apply more military pressure on the Iranians to concede. Well, once again, it will go back to that very challenging assumption where it seems like the administration is insisting on it. The harder we hit them, the more likely that the Iranians will concede, except that that proposition never takes into consideration how the Iranians have responded to that. It's not like they don't have any options, and they have exercised those options. They have escalated themselves. So it comes down to a game of chicken. Who's going to blame first? And who's got greater tolerance to absorb the risks and the costs and the economic pain? So far, they have shown that they are more willing to absorb costs than we are. And so if you're going to drag this for weeks and weeks, and then you can hear the president saying, previous wars in which we were involved lasted years, months, and so on and so forth. I don't see us, frankly, lasting that number of years or that number of months, frankly, and absorbing all these economic costs down the road. I still think that the Iranians have a plethora of options to really escalate and cause tremendous mayhem in the global energy markets. We're not there yet, but if we were to escalate further and send ground troops to that part of the world, the Iranians have already threatened that they're going to hit critical infrastructure, energy infrastructure in the Gulf.
You just don't want to hear it anymore. You just don't want to hear it anymore. Oh, God, why can't we just end all these wars? Look, I don't know what to say. In the sense of markets, what I say stays true. Be prepared for all scenarios. History shows staying invested in markets through depressions, recessions, wars, over time, you've got a diversified portfolio and low fee index funds, world portfolios, gold, silver, a little bit of crypto. You're going to survive. If you're trying to trade this day by day, you're going to make emotional decisions, and you'll probably lose if you don't have the right framework. And that's why we're putting out the training course to give you that framework. But look, it's not looking great. Is the war going to end? Is it not? Well, we've said for the longest time, it's going to go on longer than you expect. It was supposed to end 4 to 6 weeks. Trump reiterated it's going to be another 2 to 3 weeks, so that's already longer than we like. The strangest comment of the whole thing, the Strait of Hormuz, this is Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. The Strait of Hormuz is going to open naturally. God knows what that means. Trump says the US will hit Iran's electric plants if no deal. So that's what Trump says. And let's not forget about the deadline he set. What was the deadline? Remember, he said, "Oh, Iran's come to the table. We're going to have a deal." That no one really believed him when he said that. And if we're looking at the calendar again, I'm pretty sure that tweet. Remember, it was supposed to be on Monday, where he was supposed to strike. Last Monday, he was supposed to strike those facilities, but then Taco Trump chickened out. And it wasn't Monday. Then he put it back 5 days. It was supposed to be last Friday on the 27th of March. On the 27th of March. Then he chickened out. 10 days from then. So where does that put us? That puts us on Easter Monday, the 6th of April. So we still got that deadline in place. 6th of April. If there's no deal and no one is suggesting Iran wants to make a deal with the United States, the 6th of April comes round. We've just heard from Donald Trump today that oil facilities will be hit, electrical facilities will be hit. In his Truth Social, he says desalination plants will be hit. And if that happens, that's just escalation. Oil prices are going to go through the roof. Iran's going to retaliate. Iran's going to hit US infrastructure. Iran's going to hit Google, Nvidia, all of these places, financial interests in the Middle East. It's going to hit other oil plants. It's going to hit desalination plants. They've still got capabilities. They're still hitting with drones. They're still causing damage, and they can keep the strait closed. So it's in everyone's best interest that this never started, but now we're here. We're seeing people profit from this war. We're seeing global leaders profit from this war. We're seeing insider trading going on to some extent. Again, not verified, but we've looked at the data, the trades being made before these announcements. I mean, they're crazy. You can defer what you like. I'm not here to say someone's insider trading or not. I'm just here to say there's been some very strange trades. Who wins? Leaders, powerful people. And who loses? Us, the retail investors, the normal people who just want to live our lives in peace. So here we are again, back at it. Another day in the markets, another day where Donald Trump's come out and said some, frankly, strange and ridiculous things. Earlier today, coming out of NATO. Later today, coming out and saying the strait will release itself, it will open itself. I'm not here to be political. I'm not here to say I love Trump. I'm not here to say I hate Trump. In all honesty, I don't really like any political leader. I don't like I always see one trend and everyone's there for themselves. But if we're looking at this in terms of facts, a lot of things are very non-factual coming out at the moment. So let's have another look at the markets. You can see here's the Asian markets at the top, down 1.3%. The S&P futures now down nearly 1%. Europe stocks down 1.3%, and the Hang Seng down 0.5%. Nothing much we can take away. If we go to our page here, war timeline still 2 to 3 weeks, but as we said, that was most likely, and that's what's continued. Is he going to end the war without getting the uranium out? The whole point of this war was get rid of the enriched uranium, even though it was supposedly destroyed a year ago. Nope. They haven't got it out. How are they going to get it out? Well, that would require ground invasion or some sort of deal. Have they opened the Strait of Hormuz? No. That's not great. Oil prices stay high this long, we're going to have issues. NATO, they might be withdrawing. Iran ceasefire request that Donald Trump quoted has no evidence behind it. Ground invasion, well, all the troops are going there. Why are troops going there if there's not going to be an invasion? Crude oil, now we've got more catalyst for it to stay above $100, causing recessions, issues around the world. Gasoline prices above $4, above $1.60 here in the UK. S&P 500, well, it pumped. Now is it going to dump all the way back down? I don't know. Most likely it's going to bleed this year. Recession probability probably increasing. We're currently 30%. I'll give it between 30 and 40%. Inflation forecasts above 4%. The Fed can't cut. That's the situation we're in. That's what you need to be prepared for. You need to be prepared for the markets to continue going down. Stocks drop, oil climbs. Trump vows to hit Iran extremely hard. That's what. Let's have a quick look at the markets currently. Oil continuing to stay up 5%. Treasuries, 10-year heading up. That means mortgage rates heading up. S&P 500 down, coming into support right now. But if it breaks it, we're going to go all the way back down. It's just lower high. That's why I say be careful on these rises up. Nothing goes down in a straight line, and we might be continuing the trend down. Gold down 1.3%, XRP down 1.4%, Bitcoin down 1%, Ethereum down 1.5%, silver down 3% as well. The polls in the chat, what are you guys saying? When will the war end? Remember, the longer the war goes on, the bigger the issues we have. This week, 14%. That would be great. We're still going to have major issues within the market. Don't forget that, even if the war ends today. We're going to have a quick pump on the markets over the next few weeks or few days, and then everyone's going to realize actually there's big issues in the market, and we've had a big inflation shock, and it's going to cause problems. 2 weeks, 11%. 2 to 5 weeks, 25%. And 50% of you guys have said fit 5+ weeks. The market has not priced in 5+ weeks. Oh, wow, we've got a super chat. How incredible. Thank you, Defense.
A Defense 89 tipped $2 Canadian through super chat. THX Sensei, awesome job and work.
Brilliant. Thank you, Defense. Really appreciate it. If you guys want to see more analysis, you can go to sensei.news. Currently, it's working out to about $9.99 a month. That's the deal we've got going on right now. What do you get? You get the daily premium briefings every single morning. Instead of getting your news from all sorts of places and paying all sorts of money and scrolling on X and getting fake news, political news, people that are being paid to write these articles in a certain way, advertisers telling people to write articles in a certain way. We do it here, non-biased. We look at the news out there. We search the plethora of platforms we have access to. We pick the most important. We give you the 5 every day. Plus, we give you I can just give you an example of one of our newsletters. If I just go to sensei.news, you can see you can go to one of our newsletters here, and you can see what you get. You get the stories at a glance. You get the one big thing. You get the fear and greed index. It's just a very easy morning read, 2 hours before the opening bell. What's moving in the markets, the winners, the losers, the market snapshot, then the 5 things you need to know. 2 paragraphs plus my thoughts on each of these stories. Vertical aerospace here, and that was something from our eVTOL expert. Put that story in there. You get all the updates, all the news you need to know. That's a SpaceX story. The deep dives on specific macro stories, specific earnings, specific companies like Virgin Galactic we had a look at on this day, and this comes out every single day. You can see all our charts, hours of work gets put into every single morning, and that's the chart of the day as well, what I'm looking at, my technical analysis every single morning. So that's just one part. You're not just paying for that. What else do you get? That's number 1 on the list. How do I find where I was? You get macro event cheat sheets. So again, if we go to sensor.news, you can go to over here, cheat sheets. You can see one of the cheat sheets we do. We can do them for FOMC events, or we do them for smaller events as well. For the FOMC, the Fed decision, you get to see the timings of everything, the backdrop of where we are, all the charts, all the information, how to what to look out for on these data events, the rate decisions, and what to be looking out for if that happens. What does it mean? What words to look out for? What the state of the market's in. You get every single dot plot for the FOMC, different scenarios, the Q&A, plus all the charts for this main coin. So silver, we did a chart for silver, my analysis on Bitcoin, XRP ahead of these major releases. So you get that as well. That's number 2 on the list. And remember, you're getting this for the equivalent of $9.99 a month. Premium only trading view indicators. So we're releasing this. So let's just go to something like Bitcoin. Zoom out, go into our daily time frame, and just look at some of these indicators. I don't know if everyone's seen this yet, but we will be showcasing this. It will be coming out on April the 3rd. Let me just hide drawings for a second. Zoom out of the Bitcoin chart so you can just see this indicator at work. Let's put on the momentum band. Momentum band very easily shows you, are we in a bull market and a bear market? In a bear market, it acts as a resistance band. In a bull market, where it's a support band. It gives you green triangles for when the momentum band flips. For example, this trade here was 117% towards the upside. It also gives you red ones for be cautious. That brought us down 25%. The next green alert took us up 70%. Anyway, it's also just a trend indicator. You can also look at the long-term deep trend as well. This is where we normally go to in a bear market, very clearly laid out. And also the trigger alert, which will be on the daily time frame, which gives you shorter term triggers as well. You can use that on any chart. So those are the private indicators. They're backed up by research. We don't just make things up here. So you get those. That's number 3 on the list. What else do you get? You get the chart course. So that's releasing on depending on where you are, it's tomorrow, 3rd of April. If you're in the US, it's in 2 days' time. The chart course, 8 years of research, 8 years of charting, literally 8 months of research going into this. This is research led. It's not how to make money overnight. I'm not going to claim you're going to become rich overnight by looking at the trading chart course, but it's everything you need to know about charts backed up by research and how to win. What the 95% do to lose and what the 5% do to win. And we want to be part of the 5%. So that chart course is part of it. The £5,000 portfolio challenge. We've started with £5,000. And considering the market we're in, we're only down a few percentage points on that portfolio challenge. That's hours of research going into those releases. We give you the full framework, how I look at sectors I look at, and the specific buys on that portfolio challenge. We want to turn 5,000 into 100,000. We're not there yet. We've recently started it, but we are getting there. Portfolio tracker and financial control suite. What you can do is go to the net worth lens. This is an app just for you guys. I don't track your data. I don't run ads. I don't have access to your account. You can go in, and again, sorry, this is not my actual. Oh, yeah, it's password protected. Everyone gets the password once you sign in. But essentially, you can go into that, put in your assets, your liabilities, see where your net worth is at. You can project scenarios, put in your portfolio how much it's going to rise by, compare it to different portfolio types, put in income. Sort of projections when you're going to stop your income, what your retirement income is. It's literally, it's like a financial control suite. So you just know exactly where your finances are at, reduces the stress, understand where you are. And then you also get to message me and you get access to our private Discord community, plus the integration with the Discord. So all of that currently $9.99 to celebrate the chart training course. How do you get it? The link is in the live chat right now. Only 3 people. I'm going to give you the link. It's going to go fast. If you haven't got it yet, there you go. 50% off. It's in the live chat. If you haven't got it yet, the link is in the live chat. I'll give you Discord access. Once you've got Discord access, you can come in, get your Discord membership as well. But right now, 50% off. We're not running deals like that again. Only 3 people can get it. If you've got it, get ready for more perks being added to you. If you haven't got it yet, 50% is in the live chat. So we've covered the Trump story. That's the link for anyone who's not got it. Final look at the markets. The markets, S&P 500 down. Still down, yeah. 0.86%. Oil up 4.6%. Bonds heading up. Mortgage rates going up, essentially. Gold down, that's what you would expect. XRP down as well, yeah. It wasn't anything substantial from the president, but very much no indication of ending soon, and very strange talk about the Strait of Hormuz. It looks like they won't be opening it up, and I don't think the market has fully digested that yet, because the only thing we can take away from that speech is the war's going to continue and the Strait is not opening. Is really all we can take away from the speech from Trump. I don't think we can take away anything else. 2 to 3 weeks, that means the war's continuing and they're not looking to open the Strait. Someone else that will open naturally. So God knows what that means. Good luck to everyone. Unfortunately, we can always win. We're winning. We're prepared for this, but it's not always nice covering war and people dying for no real benefit, if you are some people. I'm going to have a quick look at the live chat and then we're going to end it. Night or Crypto Prince, that's a great deal. Yeah, it's all the things you get. I mean, it's even if you just take one of those things, the daily newsletter, the full daily newsletter for $9.99 a month. I mean, that's incredible. If you don't mind me saying so myself, it probably sounds very arrogant, but I think it's great. I would have loved to have any of these things when I first started investing. Or anytime, really. Daily newsletter, $9.99. Brilliant. Event cheat sheets. Every time there's an event, every time there's a data event. Okay, I'm not going to say every single data event because that'll put me on the spot. But anytime there's any major data event, plus, I mean, we do them every time throughout the week as well. Whenever there's an inflation data event, we do about 3 a week at least. You get the whole cheat sheet, what's going to happen, how to look at it, what it means, what the current state of the market is, the charts, and the specific numbers we're looking for in the data. $9.99. Trading view indicators, people charge thousands for them. As part of it, $9.99. The chart course, people charge thousands for chart courses, and their chart courses are baseless and not based on academic research. Ours are based. Mine is based on academic research. $9.99. £5,000 portfolio challenge. All the research, about 20 hours of research goes into each report on that. $9.99. Portfolio tracker. If you go and see what people charge for you to go to a net worth tracker and plan out your future with income income projections and everything else, the budget planner, the debt planner, the net worth tracker, people charge like $50 a month. And if you're looking at financial advisors, they charge $500 for an hour of your time to do the same thing. And they track your data, they give you ads. We don't do that. And it's $9.99. Priority DMs, you can message me and be part of the private Discord. $9.99. Not each, but all together. I mean, yeah, that's a great deal. Do you think, if you guys haven't got it, have I pinned it? I'll pin it again. The link is literally there. 3 people. I don't know if it's sold out or not. You can always try. I'll pin it. That's a great deal. Thank you, Crypto Prince. I agree. It's a great deal, isn't it? Craig Carter, fantastic news. Really, guys, you guys have been so kind. I've seen so many messages recently on Discord, on the newsletter. The support for the newsletter is great. Remember, it is literally just me. So some days when it's 5 minutes late, or today when it was 10 minutes late, it's because I've got a real life. And my wife is pregnant right now. We were in an appointment. And it is just me. But it is out there every day. We do put something out there every day. We do keep up to date with it. I am getting this training course out. It is delayed a little bit. Someone said I'm running on Elon time, and I found that very funny. I find that a little bit of a compliment because Elon Musk has produced great things. But yeah, I just want to get it right. It's taking this long. We need to just make sure the final parts are right. So it's not going to be perfect, but it is everything you need. And yeah, and all the compliments that I've been receiving lately, I appreciate every single one. We are effed tomorrow morning. Look, the market's weird. It can react unreasonably. It can be up tomorrow 2%, and you don't know why. But yeah, I think we are probably going to be down, and I think we are going to continue trending down. Glad markets are heading to 5999 price target. You're talking about the S&P 500 or SPY? Yes, the newsletter is worth it. Still waiting on chart trading, but it's worth it. Nevertheless, Ricardo, chart trading is coming. Hold me to that April the 3rd. If it's not out on April the 3rd, you guys can start a I don't know. I was gonna say union, but that wouldn't make sense. We only make fun of the person that has lifted a. We only make fun of the person that has lifted a finger against Iran. We only make fun of the person that has lifted a finger against Iran. We only make fun of the person that's lifted a finger against Iran. We make fun of people. We say all sorts of stuff on this channel. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has an opinion. I don't know what you specifically mean. Tidy Big Dog says it's like being given a tip sheet in Wall Street. Yeah, little tip sheet. There's little cheat sheets. Should be illegal, right? Kraz, if they can do it, we should do it. Kraz guy, Trump, cruel April Fools. Do you think it was an April Fools from Trump? WTF? And he just comes out now, and we've just missed it. He's just said the war's ended. And then there was just some crazy trades right before it. This is such a crazy up and down market. Make sure I've got this. Yeah. He is playing the market. He needs more money. Crazy. I don't know why you would need more money. Exactly, says Palif. I mean, those trades, whoever they were before any of these major events, is crazy. What was it? 500 million made on the taco trade last week. Whoever that was, who knew about the tweet 3 minutes before or 15 minutes before, that was crazy. But I wouldn't say it's just Trump. I would say all world leaders. It's just look, it's everyone. It's all about money, power. Yeah. We just all have to look out for ourselves. We just have to live our lives. Defense says cost 1B per day at the expense of cutting healthcare in his own country. costing 1 billion per day at the expense of cutting healthcare in his country. What, the war is costing 1 billion a day? Yeah. Crypto Prince, do you feel that XRP could hit $1.20 soon? Yeah, I think it can certainly go below $1. Craig Carter, I mean, I would actually say I expect it to go to $1.20 soon. Craig Carter, this is what but again, I'm more invested than I'm out, to be fair, so I'd rather it goes up. Craig Carter, this is what I'd like to get to business first. At the end, then do the promos. This is what I like. Get to business first. At the end, do promos. Thank you. Yeah. Give you all the information. And if you don't have the newsletter, well, I might as well let you know what it's all about. I'm glad you enjoy the method of the way I do it, Craig Carter. I always want to give as much value as possible. And even if you haven't got the free newsletter, I know some people just can't afford $9.99 a month, and I understand that. And there is a free version of the newsletter, which is probably the best free newsletter as well, because you get all those headlines and the top stories every day. Some days we limit it, but most days you would get, I would say 80% of the time, you get the full stories every day as well, which is one of the biggest perks of the newsletter. So again, I'll put that link. If you just want to be a free member, you can sign up as well. Just click on the link. Instead of going for the 50% off, go for the free plan. Sup Discordian, says Widgetto. Is oil going up crazy? Not crazy. Oil doesn't really have to go up. It just needs to stay up. And then we've got oil is not up crazy. It's up 5%. But in general, it's up crazy. I mean, first day of the war, we made 1,000% on our oil trade. Or second, what, 2 weeks in, we made 1,000% on our oil trade. I don't want to make money. I actually don't like wars, but you just have to do what you have to do. Oil, $103. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's really actually at the highest levels it's really been at. So it's not up crazy. We're not back up 120, but we're holding higher highs, higher lows. The trend is towards the upside. Live chat. Thanks for staying up, Sensei. No worries, Ricardo. What's going on? Did I just send an empty message? How have I done that? There we go. How did I send an empty message? That's weird. Oh, it's not an empty message. I'm so confused. On the screen, you can see I haven't sent a message, but I look on another screen and I have sent a message. Don't worry about that. Thanks for staying up. No worries, Ricardo. Was that Peter Hegseth? Was that not Peter Hegseth last week? Was that not Peter Hegseth last week? Was what not Peter Hegseth? Is Diesel here, says Tidy? Well, you can always put at and then type in someone's name. No. Oh, it's not working there. Let me check over him. For some reason, it's not working for me. Normally, you can put at and then someone's name and see if they're here. Tidy. Diesel is defending Trump elsewhere. We're too high IQ to believe Trump. We're too high IQ to believe Trump, says Ricard. Look, I'm not going to get into the Trump debate. Great things he does, bad things he does. Same with anyone. We could, yeah. We're not going to. It's political. It could be all sorts that everyone would want to say. Christian and Zedek, how low do you think the spy will go if we have boots on the ground in Iran? Good question. How low do I think it go? Well, we've got targets on the S&P. I'll just look at it on US 500, which is just the index, and then I'm pretty sure you just remove a zero and it's the same as SPY. So targets we've hit 2 of them already. 6,384, that's been hit. So that's, I think, 634, 638. Let me just double check. 630. We went down to 6312. Let me just check SPY. 55, US 500. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. You just remove a zero. So 615 would be a level that would pretty easily be hit, in my opinion. And that wouldn't be a bad spot because that's another 5% down from here, and that would be 12% down from the top. Now, it would probably go lower, in all honesty, um, but I would certainly not trade up that opportunity to buy the S&P at a 12% dip. But it can go down as much as 15% and potentially even a 20% or 30% drop, not just on boots on the ground. It depends what the invasion is. Are they going into major cities or are they just taking over islands? I'm just prepared for all these levels. And I'm prepared for it not to go any lower and go higher. So I'm prepared for the next level being 4% down, then 9% down, 13% down, 17% down, and 25% down. I think that's sort of the worst case scenario. Do I even have a level lower? I even do because I'm prepared for those lows as well. But most likely we don't go all the way down. I would say maybe a double bottom at Liberation Day lows. Worst case scenario, but probably a 20% move from high to low isn't crazy. So that would be 5,500, 5,600 could be how low we could go. Just be prepared. Um, How low did insider trading just before Trump spoke? I don't know. I saw. I think Martyn said there was some trades before it. I wasn't looking at the order books. We'll probably hear about it in the next couple of days if there was. I think that's it. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I've missed being live, but currently I am just sort of taking time off, if you want to call it that. We're doing the final parts of the Discord integration. I'm literally behind the scenes. It looks so simple to everyone, but behind the scenes, it's just we're trying to make sure it's all running smoothly, and onboarding people in the process behind that, plus getting that training course out, plus preparing for my first child, which is more work than I thought. Preparing for it and all the appointments and everything, and we're a couple weeks away now, which we're super excited for, but also lots of work to do. So will I be live tomorrow? Probably not in the morning, in all honesty. We will see. Hopefully it's going to be Easter weekend as well, isn't it? So I'll be live when there's major updates and anything I need to bring to you. Behind the scenes, I'll be working on in the integrations. If you are newsletter members, Discord members, feel free to send me messages, and I'll be in there, and I'll be live with you guys as soon as I can be. But yeah, it's been lovely to be live again. Let me answer the final questions. Oh, we do have more questions coming in. Don't want to leave anyone behind. I hate ending a live stream and then looking and going, oh my God, that was a question I didn't answer. How low do you think, I did that one. Do you think we're heading into a recession? I don't think it's, I don't think we're heading into a recession, but I think the chance of a recession are up. Initially, before this war, I was quoting between 25 and 35%. Now, after the war, I would say between 35 and 45% chance of a recession. So still under 50%, but it's quite high because if we have a recession, we're looking at least a 20% drop, and pain in the market. So I think more likely we won't head into a recession, but it's getting close to being a 50-50 that we're heading into a recession. He who is without sin cast the first stone. Tidy big dog, that's a quote and a half, isn't it? DJ Haynes. Thanks, Sensei. No worries, DJ Haynes. Thank you for being a member for every year. Ricardo, Sensei, you know I'm right. We always talk about high inflation. Then Mango comes... then Mango comes on TV and says no inflation, and his cult members swallow it. There we go, Ricardo. Get out of here, get some rest, says Sharp Shooter. God, we haven't had a president in a while that's just no one. Everyone's always divided. But Biden was very dividing. We always got comments when we cover him. So probably most of the time, very funny comments. And we're getting it with Trump. Trying to think. I remember Obama. I mean, there was things he did that every president does bad things, I would say, but Obama, I remember everyone really respected the United States when Obama was president. We see all those speeches, and then the Democrats and the Republicans standing up and clapping.
At Christian Sadiq 1094 tipped $1.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but the times of Obama, I think everyone respects the United States, and there was a lot more. Everyone got on a bit better. Not to say that Obama, and everyone's gonna hate me in the chat now. Everyone's gonna be like, Obama was a terrible president. He can never win. But he was younger, wasn't he? I think the issue of the last couple of presidents is they're just so old. Biden was old, and Trump is very old as well. Sensei, you know I'm right. Get out of here, get some rest, says Sharpshooter. Yeah, it is currently 3 a.m. I will have to, I'm probably going to do some more work behind the scenes, but I'd best end the live. Thank you for that super chat, Christian. Really appreciate that. I just want to answer everyone's questions. I don't like ending a stream and seeing any questions left. Heard you ×2. Sorry about Ripple Trust Bank. That I have no idea what you're talking about. Ripple Trust Bank. That sounds like a scam to me. Ripple Trust Bank. We have people who like us. Peace and love. Yeah. People who like people like you, us. Peace and love. What do you mean, Tidy Big Dog? I know what you're saying there. We have people who like us. Peace and love. What do you mean we have people who like us? This war is almost 70% disapproved by USA. Yeah. Sensei has stock sense like spider sense. That is true. Thank you for covering the event. No worries, Yolanda. But Donald Trump think he is God, says Defense. I think some people worship him like God. That's for sure. I wouldn't ever worship anyone. There's only one thing to worship, and that is God. Tidy Big Dog. They don't. Bad things. They don't do bad things. Bad things were already done. Puppets on a string. Yep, we can never win. Okay, so let me redirect you guys to the extra channel. That's where you can keep the conversation going. Martyn has just dropped that link in. Let me just make sure I can also redirect it. So if I grab that. When the stream ends, you can either click that link, go directly to it, or stay where you are. You can go to the extra channel, keep the conversation going, or jump in Discord and leave me your thoughts. Add redirect. No. Yeah, add redirect. Bear with me. I'm setting up redirect. Save. Let's end the poll. What time is it where you're at? 7:07? 7:07? Oh, that's your time, Zach. Yeah, what time is it, everyone? If you're still in the chat, still watching, let me know what time it is for you right now. Thank you for covering the event, says Yolanda. What time is it for you? For Zach, it's 7:07. For me, it's 3:07 a.m. And here's the results of the poll. When will the war end? 5+ weeks, say 50% of you. That wouldn't be great for the markets. 2 to 5 weeks, 21%. This week, 16%. 2 weeks, 13%. So about 30% of you, or 27% of you. Sorry, 20. My brain's not working. 29% of you are saying in the next 2 weeks. But most of you are saying 5+ weeks. 5 a.m. for Rhino Skin. Oh my God, Rhino Skin, where are you? That is not good. Sorry, we've kept you up. Defense says 10 p.m. Jacko, 8 p.m. Oh, we got a new subscriber. I'll let everyone catch up and type in their time zones, and then we'll end. 10:08. I assume that's p.m. Okay, let's end the stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll keep you updated in Discord when I'm live next. If you haven't got the Discord, the if you are watching and you are a newsletter member and you're on Discord already, open a ticket, give me your email, you get access to the Sensei channels. If you're just on the newsletter right now, you're not a member on Discord, that's fine. You can still access the private channels that I run, which is the Sensei channels. How you get them is you join Discord. On your application process, we'll send you a video just so you understand all the scammers out there, and then I will give you the Sensei role so you can see that you don't have to be a Discord member if you're a Sensei member to get those specific channels. So Discord members, open a ticket, send me your email. Newsletter members that aren't Discord members, join Discord, and then the real beneficiaries are the people that have both. The Discord members, the Sensei members, you both get more. Discord members by themselves get more. Newsletter members by themselves get more. The people that have both have everything. So everyone wins. Whether you're just a Discord member, you win. Whether you're just a Sensei member, you win. And whether you've got both, you win as well. That's what we've tried to do here, and it just requires a bit of work behind the scenes just to get the mechanics right. And there it is. That's the link. So if you are a newsletter subscriber, click that link. It's in the live chat. Master just put the Discord link. Go into there. Give me your email in the application process. And also, if you don't have access to Discord yet, if you click that link, you can also go and get Martyn's trades for $2.99. The link is in the live chat. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.